It's been cool to see. Like, you can pinpoint your match with AJ Styles as like the starting point of some of the main roster coming down, and NXT had the WrestleMania a couple months ago with everyone being on the show. How do you just feel about like watching all that and some of the opportunities that they're getting?
It's very cool to see. And, I try my best. My schedule's a little bit wilder now, but it's like I try my best to kind of head down there and kind of see everyone, because it's not just, obviously you got guys like Mello and Braun who've been killing it for a long time. And, are probably ready for the main roster, but, we're just waiting for those opportunities, But the coolest thing is seeing all these new people coming in and start smashing it straight away. I was kind of there for their tryouts for some of them. Some of them there for their first matches inside the PC, and now seeing them on NXT TV is very, very cool. Like, there's the men's breakout tournament at the moment. There's a lot of those guys that, like, I got to help out early on. I got to see early on and give them some advice and get in there for some of their first matches and things like that. So it's cool seeing the newer guys and girls kill it so early. Get these big opportunities. I think Trick's another one that's like, I think everyone down there knew how good Trick was for a very long time. But it was just, he just had to wait for that opportunity. And I know he's not a patient guy. I know he wants the world, because that's the kind of guy he is, and I love that energy. But I think it's all worked out for the best, and it's just cool seeing everyone succeed.
You talk about people who've picked stuff up early. Tiffany Stratton, my God, like,
yeah,
it's insane. And if I could ask you a nerdy question, and it involves NXT. For those that don't know, you didn't just show up on WWE television. You put years into this. You're working the indies in Australia. And obviously NXT has kind of gone the NIL route. Mm-hmm. Could you talk to me about, I guess, kind of some of the plus and minuses? It's funny, in the radio, now they're giving opportunities to people who are like popping on Instagram and TikTok and being like, you got followers, bring them to the station. And NIL, you got these athletes, but I do think there's something about going through the trials and tribulations of the indies and performing at these shows with 10 people or 100 and this, that, and the third. Could you kind of talk to me about those dynamics?
Yeah. And I'll be honest, like, early on as an independent wrestler, like, I hated it. I thought it was a stupid idea, because you get independent talent, you bring them on and they're ready to go then, a lot of them. But then I kind of got involved a little bit more. I got involved with the tryouts and got to go and help out. I talked to the guys kind of running the NIL program. I got to go out to different colleges and do the NIL stuff. And it completely changed my perception, because now you're going out and you're getting the best athletes in the country. You have the guys who go to the NFL, NBA, whatever it is, the Olympics. There's a crop just under that talent level that doesn't really have many things to do, but they're almost at that level. Like, they're so close. So then they'll be bringing them in. There's nothing but positives. You talked about Tiffany. I got to work with her early on. We had a fun little tag run. She came from that program. She was an athlete, and now she's absolutely killing it. There's so many different guys and girls who are very similar. So for me personally, I think the NIL program is fantastic. The issue is you bring in these kids, and some of them don't have any respect for wrestling. They don't know what it is, and they don't put any effort into finding out what it is before they get there. And that's just for any job. If I'm going for a job interview, I'm going to find out who the manager is. I'm going to find out who the boss is, a little bit of history. And some of these kids come in and they have no respect for what we do. And they expect to be on TV in 6 weeks. They don't know who any of the talent is. I could tell you some wild stories about questions people have asked that would blow your mind, but I'm not here to, say any mean things. But so if you come in with the right attitude and you work hard, like, you're going to kill it. The Creeds are a great example. Tiffany's a great example. I think Kalani Jordan and Lash Legend right now are great examples of people who are athletes, came in, super respect the business, ask the right people, ask the right questions, work hard, and they're going to be the biggest names in the business for a very long time coming.
Perfect. And we'll close out with this, Grayson. WrestleMania 40 is coming up. You have your choice of anybody to join you. WrestleMania 40, Grayson Waller effect. Who are you going with?
There's so many options, especially being in Philly, like, I like to kind of tailor the talk shows, but the dream for me would be like Jalen Hurts with the Lombardi trophy in the ring with it. That's the dream. Not only do I have the quarterback, the biggest name in the NFL right now almost, but we got the Super Bowl trophy there too. That would be fresh as.
Hey, the Kelseys might get involved too. Jason might. We'll see what happens. We look forward to it.
I refuse to comment on the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift situation.
Well played, Grayson. Thank you so much for the time. We will see you to close out the year at MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Legend, thank you, mate. Appreciate it.